Say, man, for those select few that are already initiated, you should already know what this is. And for those of you that aren't, just chill. So we gonna get to the other stuff in a minute. But first, what I'm always trying to get everybody to understand is everything is vibration. So before we do anything else, just vibe. Touch you here. You better smile. Yeah. See, I'm coming to you live from that next level that so many speak on, but very few have ever experienced. Yeah. I am that level. Mission to help you get here. But the only way to get where I'm trying to get you to be is through latent self-awareness. Are you that gangster? Are you ready for that? Can you look yourself in the mirror and be okay with what you become? Or you just a monster through the looking glass? It's all relevant questioning, man. Somewhere on this trip, man, you gonna realize that you're ready to open up your ear and let me crawl into your mind. One more time. And while I'm there, what it was, man. Y'all know who it is. If not, I can't tell you. But y'all tuned in with Priceless Knowledge Yourself. And this right here, this ain't nothing but some cosmic insight, man. And I hope everybody feeling good. I hope everybody vibing, because it's time to get back to the money. This one right here, this my shit in it. Because this right here, this a little something about those people that have the part of fortune in Gemini in their natal chart. And why? Because I have the part of fortune in Gemini in my natal chart. Yeah. So I'm going to speak to y'all from experience. But what I'm going to do first, if y'all don't know my style, is I'm going to give y'all a little breakdown of what the part of fortune is. I'm going to give y'all a little bit of the energy that comes along with it, the calculations of it, and how it might affect you. Then after that, I'm going to give y'all a quick breakdown of what the sign of Gemini is actually all about, in review. Then after that, we're going to bring it to a climax, which is actually what I do best. So, without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and get it cracking, y'all. So, in astrology, man, the part of fortune, or fortuna, as it's often called by some of us. It's the most popular and well-known of all the Arabic parts. And what Arabic parts are, they're sensitive parts in the chart that are calculated by using specific formulas whereby, two planets or points are added up and then another planet or point is subtracted from that. And so, with this one, this is going to be, as I was telling y'all before, our first introduction to day charts and night charts, because it's going to vary in the day chart and night chart. And see what a day chart is. That means that the sun was in the houses between 7 and 12 when you were born. For instance, I have a day chart because I have my sun in the 9th house. Okay. I have a Cancer sun in the 9th house. And a night chart is if your sun was below the horizon, or, between houses 1 through 6, because the astrological chart of, a Western astrological chart, not a sidereal chart, which is a square. It's a circle and it goes counterclockwise. Okay. And let me also say that, when you're calculating it for a day chart, like for myself, man, you're going to calculate it by adding up the ascendant plus the moon, then minus the sun. Okay. And in a night chart, it's going to be the ascendant plus the sun, then minus the moon. And that's how you would calculate the part of fortune. And what the part of fortune really represents is worldly success. Okay. Which also pertains to really our physical health, as well as, with any potential prosperous career or events that we might be involved with, to be honest with you, man. And so in essence, it's really aptly named for real, man, because it really does point by house and sign to our more, innate ability, our most innate abilities, pardon me, and, our most gifted areas of life where if they're expressed naturally and effortlessly, it could be very lucrative for us, or it could just really bring us a sense of joy and satisfaction on this plane of existence, to be honest with you, man. And you really got to understand that the part of fortune, it lies the same distance in longitude from the ascendant and the moon. The ascendant, it lies the same distance in longitude from the ascendant as the moon is from the sun. Okay. And, the condition and placement of whatever, planet rules the sign that is your part of fortune. For instance, mine is in Gemini, so Mercury would be relevant. And so when we're talking about that, I have Mercury in the 10th house in Leo. And then I have this part of fortune in Gemini in the 9th house. So, hey, man, they support each other like magically. And I got Venus in Leo in the 10th house, adding to the mix. Okay. And Mars in Capricorn, helping me get it in to the max. You have to understand that these astrological points, they mean a lot, man, especially when you're talking about your part of fortune, when you're talking about the black moon Lilith, when you're talking about the north and the south node, because these are points that are calculated. Understand? So what does that point to? What does that really tell you? That these are just numbers. That astrology really is the algorithm of your existence written out in the stars. Think about it. Think about it, man. And so also, I want you to know that, the part of fortune, with that, if you calculate it the exact opposite way that you calculated your part of fortune, you'll get what's known as the part of spirit. And that's an Arabic part that really, represents the opposite or the reverse theme of the part of fortune, which that's not a bad thing. It's going to represent, your spiritual well-being, where you find spiritual nourishment, and understand that it's going to be the opposite calculation, not the opposite point. So this is not like the north and the south node. Don't get it twisted, because a lot of times you could calculate something the opposite way and come out with the same number, or you come out with something totally different. There's all kinds of things you can do in an equation when you switch up one number and it changes up the whole equation. You understand? So just understand that it's not going to be the exact opposite point. It's the exact opposite formula of calculation. So remember that, man. And, the part of fortune also shows what brings you the most joy on this particular physical plane of existence. Okay. And so when we're talking about the sign of Gemini, Gemini is the third sign of the zodiac, and it rules over the 3rd house, man. And, it's ruled by Mercury, and it lords over the hands, the arms, and the lungs. Okay. And its symbol is the twins. And its mantra for me is, I think. Okay. Really, that's this mantra for everybody. to be honest. And this is mutable air, and Gemini dwells in the mind, man. It really does. It really does. And it's all about how we express ourselves communicatively, whether that be verbally or literary. You know what I'm saying? And Gemini is about collecting information and the fun that comes along with sharing that. You understand? And Gemini energy is fun, man, period. And it's often the life of any party. And, one thing it isn't is boring. Understand that, man. And I like to think that wherever Gemini shows up in the chart, man, it shows the way that we think and, ultimately the way that we communicate. And, it really is all about the thoughts and even, the most fun that we have exhibiting in our thoughts and expressing those thoughts, So there's that to think about. And so when you put your part of fortune in Gemini like myself, man, I'll tell you this, man, with this placement, I'm going to speak from here, okay, because I know this. With this, man, you're probably the most naturally curious person that you know, man. And in being so, you probably also get an immense amount of joy and satisfaction from communicating and learning from all things and experiences of this life, man. Like, you can get so much joy simply in a book if you have this. You can get so much joy in a conversation if you have this. You get what I'm saying? You get so much joy in knowing something that somebody else don't know and being able to teach them with this placement, man. That's what this is all about, man. Cause, the thing with people like us right here, man, I'm gonna be real, is, we want to know everything. We want to know everything, man. And really exchanging ideas and energies, that really empowers us, man. So, most of the time, a lot of us really enjoy meeting new people. And to be honest, it's usually, a lot of us are a lot of fun to be around too, obviously. It's just people that are playful by nature and just really know how to, spark up a conversation with just about anybody. And with that, love comes from that. And through the love that's exchanged in that energy, man, it's a beautiful thing, man. As a matter of fact, man, I'm going to tell you, to be honest, this has a lot to do with, what having this placement actually means, man. It's all about being entertaining and being playful and mischievous. And, all that stuff is just it's second nature here, man. Obviously. I'm gonna stop, man. And the good fortune just comes from socializing and making friends and establishing lines of communication like this. You understand? And with this one, man, you're always looking for new knowledge from the people that you know. But you do have to be careful. Let me keep it real with you that, that you're not valuing people more for their ideas than for what they really are in your life. Because that's something that you could do here that could be a problem, man. And let me tell you that with this placement, man, you're stimulated by other people's ideas, man. And, you really become aware of all the intricate facets of life. Okay. You really do. And you're really just this type of person who's always having sudden realizations and, always making some really interesting observations about the various walks of life, and especially about people, man. Like, people because you watch them and you deal with people. So you see all the intricacies in human behavior, whether you speak on it or not, man. You understand that, man? Real talk, man. And unless Mercury is like somehow other heavily affected in the chart, man, this means that you really have a way with words, man. It really does. And I mean, that's like none other if you have this part of fortune in Gemini. And if you're able to employ that skillfully, it could be lucrative for you. It could be very profitable for you, man. And, people with a part of fortune in Gemini, man, I know this from myself. We're really awesome at mimicking people and really imitating others. Because especially, I'm going to tell you, I can do my daddy perfectly. You know what I'm saying? I can do voices, period, perfectly. That's what I can just do people, because it's not even just because of my voice and because of the way that I'm able to pitch that. It's just I am a student of human mannerism. You know what I'm saying? I am a student of the human experience. You know what I'm saying? I understand what it's like to be spiritual. But with a part of fortune in Gemini, with, Black Moon Lilith in Gemini, with Chiron, Charliglo in Gemini, I kind of need to understand what it means to be human a little bit. Think about it. And, I do have to be honest, man, that, with this placement, man, and I know it's going to be hard for somebody like myself to even say this. There's a certain superficiality that comes with this, man, because you're really strongly attached to this reality right here, man. And with this placement, man, your sense of joy really just comes from observing the here and now and your surroundings and the people in your immediate circle too, especially, man. And you're really the type that usually doesn't allow things to get past a certain level. Okay, whether that be of intimacy, whether that be of people knowing you, whether that be of anger, like there's a certain level that you just don't allow other people, or most people other than yourself to go past. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. And so that's definitely interesting, man. And, you're the type of person that probably laughs when shit goes wrong, no matter how much it really troubles you. You know what I'm saying? And I do that because there's several times where I started laughing. People are like, man, what are you laughing about? Especially, and I'm just like, man. And with me, it's the irony. It's the irony. And it's more or less, I'm trying to also laugh from not letting that other side of me come out that'll trip the fuck out on you. You understand? And it's there. It's there. You know what I'm saying? And, these are also the type of people like myself who really don't readily commit to much either, to be honest. And, you kind of have a very non-judgmental way, which helps in the fact that, you really don't differentiate between the best and the worst. Thus, you're able to benefit from all sides and all alternatives at the same time, man. And you really have such an ample amount of freedom of movement and a flexible mind that you're kind of truly able to realize and understand all the greatest contradictions of life and of this experience, which is beautiful in its own aspect. You know what I'm saying? Real talk, man. And, let me tell you that with this one, man, the sign opposite of the part of fortune, Sagittarius, we really, really search for truth, with this one, it makes you want to search for truth, as the most important principle, while also being able to relate to all kinds of people and situations and kind of being able to adapt whenever the moment demands it. And, however, unless this is in the ninth house, which mine happens to be, just to let you know, man, you're probably a lot more comfortable getting involved with things, that are, within your immediate reach without judging the duplicity of circumstances, more than you are than anything else. But mine is of the ninth house. So with this, I'm trying to do it all. I need the higher truth and I need to know people. You understand? And that's where it all comes from me. And being able to speak that, preach that, convey that to you in truth is where my fortune lies. Where does yours lie? You understand, man? And let me also say that, people with this placement like myself, you're probably more able to stay in the present instead of, following that, distant mental expansion that comes along with Sagittarius. You know what I'm saying? Unless you have it in the ninth house. But I have several things that help me stay in the present, but I'm always, there's always an underlying tone in me that's always wanting to know what's the deeper meaning behind everything that's going on. You know what I'm saying? And is that the Pluto in the first house? Is that the part of fortune in the ninth house? Or, the sun in the ninth house? Or is it, this Gemini energy? Or is it a mix of it all? Because that's how my algorithm makes it play it out. Think about it. You know what I'm saying? And just really also with this, man, you got to try to remember to, not to judge or be authoritarian, because, you really lose the people who you would probably learn a lot from and interact with the most when you get like that with this placement, man. You got to always make sure to maintain the powers of observation and the powers of wisdom without making those ignorant, premature judgments, man. And I've had to learn this lesson, but once I've learned it, man, it's been beautiful. When I've been able to take a step back now and not just jump out there and say some stuff that I usually would just jump out there and say, it's helped me profit. You know what I'm saying? And there are a lot of times where I want to jump out there and I have some belief systems that maybe might be out there to people, but I know now that sometimes the power of silence is awesome, man. And, with this, if you're able to find the distance in between, you'll really be able to make those contradictions work in your favor. Okay, because that's what this has a lot to do with, is contradictions, man. That's what Gemini energy is always going to be able to be about, is working with contradictions and making them work for you and communicating the abstract things that's going on, man. And, with this, you also know that, us as human beings have to just, really accept some minor, temporary limitations, although from a really sufficiently broad point of view. Okay, to really truly allow mental stimulation to manifest. So in that sense, I could say that when I think about it, having your part of fortune in Gemini, it means that, what can satisfy us more than anything is just being able to, obtain a genuine understanding of what it is to be a human being. And then, through communicating that, with all the love and the fun and zest that comes along with that Gemini energy, the universe is going to allow you to prosper if, that is what your will is to do so. But, the greatest sense of accomplishment and satisfaction will actually probably come when, you know how to live with everything that is temporary. And, then you can learn, something positive and new in everything. Okay. Which that right there is a freaking true treasure. And that's because you understand that knowledge is not only power, it's happiness. But, even if it don't play out like that, just because you built like that, you don't have to build like that, man. Okay. If you got the part of fortune in Gemini like me, you can deny that energy. Maybe that's not what you want to, chase after this time around. But hey, man, it's up to you what you do with it. Because what I mean by it is we all have all this energy available to us in our chart. What you do with it is what you do with it. And even beyond that, it's not about what you do. It's about how you do it. Okay. And that's some priceless knowledge in itself. And there's been some priceless knowledge of self. If y'all fooled me on any level, y'all need to like, share, and subscribe, man. If you're not hitting the dislike button, you need to be hitting the like button, man. Bump it on down, man. Because I'm trying to get out here on this algorithm. I'm trying to get more and more, reach more people, man. Let's get this, start building even more, man. I have an insatiable hunger for more. I hope everybody keeping it true. If y'all are interested in the astrological readings whatsoever, you can either hit me up in the comments below, or you can email me at mr.turner1300@gmail.com. If y'all are interested in donating to the cause, the links are in the description below as well, man. Hey, I appreciate everybody's love and support. Y'all keep it true till next time, because that's what I'm going to do regardless, bro.